Hey guys, it's Sarah with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we have a review and install of the Ford Performance by Borla Extreme Axleback Exhaust with black chrome tips, fitting your 18 and newer Mustang GT without the active exhaust. This Axleback exhaust produces a bold and aggressive exhaust note thanks to its straight-through muffler design. This exhaust is constructed from 2.5-inch mandrel-bent 304 stainless steel tubing and features these nice black chrome tips. And as far as sound goes, I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5 on the loudness meter. This Axleback does feature the louder option from Ford Performance, but it does keep the factory resonator, so that does take a little bit of the edge off. So this system is for the Mustang owner who wants to save some money over a full catback system. Maybe you already have an X or an H pipe installed, or you just really like that sound of the factory resonator and you want to upgrade your mufflers and tips. Coming in at around $1,000, this exhaust is about middle of the road price-wise when compared to other Axlebacks. Now keep in mind this one is constructed from 304 stainless and features Ford Performance's extreme mufflers, where some of the lower priced options feature 409 stainless and don't have mufflers at all. So this exhaust gets you the sound that you're looking for while saving you some money over more expensive options. I'm giving this exhaust a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Some minor cutting is required to install these, but it can be done within 2 hours. With that said, let's jump right into our install. For this install, we used an exhaust hanger removal tool, a deep 15mm socket, an impact gun, a rubber mallet, an extension and a 13mm socket, eye protection, a tape measure, a marker, and a sawzall or other similar cutting device. Alright, so the first step in our uninstall is to grab a 15mm socket and loosen both the nuts on each of these pipes. Next up, we're going to remove these hangers from the subframe. You're going to want a 13mm socket and an extension, but it's going to go right over top of the sway bar. Now you can lift up and flip these out of the way. At this point, we can separate the exhaust from these 2 clamps that we loosened earlier. You may want a mallet, as this will make it a little bit easier to get them off. Alright, now that we have the factory system uninstalled from our Mustang, we can put it side by side with our Axleback system, really check out some of the similarities and differences. Now, as you can see, a good portion of this stock exhaust is reused, so we're only really replacing this back muffler section. However, Ford Performance does offer these extreme mufflers which feature a straight-through design that is definitely going to wake up the sound of your exhaust and finishes it with these sleek black chrome tips. Alright, so we have our exhaust uninstalled from our Mustang. Now you can make these cuts with it still installed on car, but we wanted to show you a little bit closer up how this is done. Feel free to do this however you prefer. So we first line up our Ford Performance muffler section, just get an idea of where we want this to go. Now our piping can overlap about 3 inches on the end here, so we want to keep that in mind. And it looks to me like we're going to want to make our cut right at the end of this bend here. So go ahead and grab a Sharpie and make your mark about where you want to cut. All right, so once we've made our mark, we want to grab a Sawzall or a similar tool and just make a nice clean cut so we can join our piping. All right, with our exhaust cut, we can now reinstall it. If you've removed these factory clamps, reinstall them now. All right, with both sides of our exhaust cut, we can now reinstall it back on our Mustang. You may want to grab a friend for this part just to help you line it up. Once you have the front of the exhaust installed, hook each of the brackets for your rubber isolators in the subframe. Now you can reinstall the factory hardware. And grab a 13mm socket and extension and tighten these down. Don't forget to slide your clamps over the factory piping. And now we'll get our muffler section in place. Starting with the factory hanger. Now you can get your piping in place. Repeat that on the other side. At this point, we can start tightening down the clamps using a 15mm socket, starting at the very front of your exhaust. Get your clamp in place and tighten down the clamps at the back of your exhaust. Repeat that on the other side. All right, so that is going to do it for the review and install of our Ford Performance Axle back. Remember, for all things Mustang, keep it at AmericanMuscle.com.